Hi guys, this is week 30 Project Life, and my dilemma this week is that my newest Citrus Twist kit hasn't arrived yet. It's caught in the post somewhere. So instead of letting myself get another week behind, I decided instead to trawl back through the last 8 or 9 months worth of kits, spread them all out on my desk, and I'm going to pick and choose my favourite parts that are left over from these kits for this week. I did know that I wanted to add a shaker pocket this week. After going through my flip through of the last 6 months of Project Life, I wanted to add a little bit more sparkle, so I've got some neat and tangled sequins from my stash. And now I'm just going through all the papers, just papers, cards, picking out things that might go with this week. Now I'm sorry, I can't tell you which kit is which. After I use them, they all go in a drawer, so I don't know which month these are from. I'm just picking out the parts I enjoy from each one. So I've grabbed a 4x6 card that's got a bit of yellow down the bottom, and then I'm just picking out some 3x4 cards. You'll see I've got quite a strong colour theme again this week, blue and yellow, despite me trying my hardest not to, so I'm just going to roll with it. So like I said, I'm going to make a shaker pocket this week, and I'm just going to use the packaging from this stamp set to do that. So I'll trim it down to the right size. First I'm just going to trim down this 6x6 paper to 4x6, which helps my colour scheme as it gets rid of the red and orange. I'm going to trim the packaging down to the right size, stitch around the outside with my sewing machine, of course after adding the sequins to it. And then I've got like a wee shaker pocket. Well, it's not a pocket, it's like a shaker card that I can just slip in and out of my album. Means I don't have to use my fuse tool or anything like that. It's a really simple way of adding sequins. So I've just trimmed down those couple of cards, and I immediately saw these foam words. I think they're freckled fawn ones, and I knew that loved one would go perfectly on that photo there. I toy with the idea of adding more, but for now I'm just going to add the one. I'll just stick down this one photo here, and I'm going to do all of my journaling this week on this one journaling card. So when I do something like that, the easiest way to run it through my typewriter is to stick it down to a piece of paper first, and then once I've typed it out I can peel it off, and any sort of sticky residue that's left over from my tape runner, I just use a bit of washi tape to cover it up. It just makes it a lot easier than trying to run the single journal card through the typewriter. And I saw these really pretty blue tiny phrase stickers, so I'm going to add one of them to my shaker pocket just to give it a bit of a focal point. Stick down this last photo here, and I saw this stamp set that said gotta love this, and what I want to do is stamp that, but I also want to add and you, but there was no word and on this stamp set in particular, so I'm gonna go through the other sets thinking there must be the word and somewhere, and there wasn't, but there was one that had an ampersand on it, so I'll use that instead. First I'll just stamp out gotta love this, and then the ampersand is part of a phrase, so I'm just going to partially ink it up, so just being careful so that it only inks up the ampersand part, and then add the little word you. So that's my phrase for that card finished. And I do decide in the end to add a couple more of these foam words, just to give it that sort of rule of 3. Lots of things will happen in rules of 3s this week, and I love it. So I stick these down, just would normally have put that amazing one maybe in the middle of the photo, but just to make it a bit sort of scattered around the page, I put it up the top left, just otherwise it would have been almost directly above the other one. Toyed with adding a wood veneer, but it didn't really fit, and then I found these little tiny phrase stickers, these Maggie Holmes ones, and I loved them, so I thought I would add them. Now I made the mistake of sticking down that foam word, and it is stuck down, so I wanted to put the sticker underneath it, but that's not going to happen, so instead I'm going to put it over top. And I'm just going to cut apart one of the stars on that same foam word sheet, just to use like little foam squares underneath the sticker, just to make sure that the edges are the same height as the actual sticker foam word. And then of course, because I've done 3 foam words, I'm going to do 3 stickers as well. This one here fit nicely in the gap, but for the happy one, I'm going to do the same thing that I did at the top. So I'm going to cut down one of the little foam stars to add on either side of the phrase sticker. Found this chipboard set from one of the kits, and I thought I'd add one of them. Initially I was drawn to it because of all the blue in there, but in the end I picked out a grey one, so I'm going to add that. But it looks a little lonely on its own, so I'm going to add one of the little blue phrase stickers underneath there as well, just trying to figure out which one suits best. And then that still looks a little lonely, so I wondered about adding one of these puffy stickers, but none of them were really going to go with the rest of the page. And then I saw these cork and gold foil hearts, and there's 3 of them, so that works out nicely, and I can add 3 throughout the page. So I'm going to add 2 to these cards here, and I'm going to keep the 3rd one for my title card. So speaking of title cards, I want to just add a little strip to anchor my title down. So grabbed a piece of lighter blue and I'm just going to stick that on. It's just a strip of a sort of blue wood grain paper, but it goes with the colour scheme and it just tones those dots down a little bit. Now one thing none of these kits have got left is a lot of alphas, so I've grabbed these ones out of my stash, which yes, I have replenished my black thicker stash. So I'm spelling out week, and then I'm going to use these smaller stickers underneath to actually spell out the word 30 rather than put the numerals in, just for a change. Plus I really love this font, it's so cute and it works really nicely with the other one. And then for my date stamps, there's just about always labels on these cut apart sheets. I'm just going to look for one that's the right colour, and luckily I found one of these beautiful deep blue ones. So I'm going to trim that out. I only need to trim the top half because I'm going to stick this underneath the 30, so the rest of it will hang off the bottom. So I can stick that down and just trim the edge with my scissors. And then I can do my date stamping. Now, someone asked me how I only partially date stamp the first half. So often I just half ink it, but this time the rest of it was a little bit dirty, so I used a piece of paper to mask off the rest while I just stamped the first set of numbers. And then I can add the rest and my tiny heart. And that is this week all done. Oh no, wait, I had to put the 3rd heart on, but of course I lost it in the mess that is my desk. Found it, stuck it on, and that is this week all done. So my challenge to you is, instead of waiting for the next latest and greatest kit, go back through your stash, pick out your favourite bits and get that week done. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye!